Hey, friend. Welcome back to another episode of Grace, Grit, and Grounds. Or maybe welcome to the shop for the first time. Either way, I'm glad you're here. Today's bowl isn't some rare exotic burl from the edge of a volcano guarded by dragons and poor financial decisions. It's just curly maple. Good, old, curly maple. Simple wood, good grain, nice figure, nothing too dramatic. Honestly, this whole turning session was kind of a peaceful moment for me. There were no catches trying to launch the bowl into low Earth orbit, no terrifying moments where I questioned all of my life choices, no giant cracks opening up halfway through the process like the bowl suddenly remembered it had unresolved childhood trauma. Just a good old day in the shop. And you know what? I think we need more of those. I think we become so used to the chaos that we almost feel guilty when life gets quiet for a minute. Like every moment has to be productive or profound or world changing. But sometimes the best moments are just, you know, steady. Coffee's warm. My tools are sharp. The wood is spinning. The world slows down enough to breathe again. That's kind of what this bowl became for me. Now, I did shape this one a little differently. Going to have a kind of cauldron feel to it. I've been wanting to do this for a little while. Has a little lip around the top and in the interior rim it looks something like a woodland wizard would use to make stew during a thunderstorm. Or maybe chili. Good chili feels slightly magical sometimes. But while I was turning it, I kept noticing something I've always loved about curly maple. At first glance, it can look almost plain. You hold the blank in your hand and you think, all right, this will make a bowl. But then the tool starts peeling away the layers, and the grain starts shifting in the light. The curl begins to move. Different angles catch different shadows. And once the oil hits it, oh, man, it just wakes up. It's one of my favorite moments in woodworking, and I've talked about that before. You spend all this time covered in sawdust, staring at something rough and ordinary, and then suddenly the hidden beauty shows itself. And maybe that's why I keep coming back out here. Not because I like bowls, though I do. My cabinets are becoming deeply concerned about the number of bowls that are being shoved into them. But I think I come back because woodworking reminds me that a lot of beautiful things in life happen slowly. A marriage becomes beautiful slowly. Character forms slowly. Trust grows slowly. And faith deepens very slowly. Most meaningful things in life are shaped through repetition, patience, and time. We live in a world that wants instant transformation, instant success, instant healing, instant purpose. But God seems very comfortable working slowly. Look around us. Trees grow slowly. Wisdom grows slowly. People, although I think I could probably argue this with my own kids, when we were in the midst of them growing, it seemed like it took forever, but once they got grown, it happened too quickly. But I still think overall people grow slowly. And honestly, for that little fact, I think I am a bit grateful. Because if God only used finished people, most of us would be disqualified before breakfast. That's the one thing the shop teaches me over and over again. Progress matters, not perfection, but progress. I said once that at the end of the year, the only thing that's different about us is the people we've met new and the books that we've read. I think the reason why that is because the books infiltrate our brains and our lives and shape and change us. And the people that we meet also do the same thing. They get inside our lives and our souls and they change us. Back to the blank. Some days you have to rough out a shape. Some days you have to sand. Some days you fix mistakes. And some days you just stand there staring at the wood, trying to figure out what in the world you were attempting to make in the first place. None of that is failure. That's all part of the process. Ecclesiastes talks about finding joy in your labor, not surviving work, but actually finding satisfaction in it. There's something deeply human about creating things, building things, repairing things, cultivating things. I think that's part of being made in the image of the Creator. We were designed to make good things. Maybe for you, that's woodworking. Maybe it's cooking, writing, gardening, teaching, working on old cars, playing music, raising kids, taking care of people. Whatever it is, don't underestimate the quiet goodness of honest work done with care. The world desperately needs more people willing to create instead of just consume. And I think that's why these slower moments matter. Not because every bowl changes the world. This bowl probably won't solve any global crises unless world peace somehow depends upon good chili storage. But creating something with your hands slows your soul down long enough to remember that your value isn't measured by speed, algorithms, outrage, or productivity. Sometimes it's enough to simply make something beautiful and thank God for the ability to do it. That's one reason I love the old verse in Colossians. Whatever you do, do it heartily, as for the Lord. Not just preaching, not just ministry, but everything you do, even sanding. Though I'm fairly certain sanding is part of humanity's ongoing sanctification process. You learn patience real fast with sanding, especially with curly maple, because, well, curly maple will humble you with confidence. You think everything looks smooth till the finish goes on, and suddenly the wood reveals every decision you made, like an old detective solving a crime. But there's honesty in that too. You see, good craftsmanship takes time. And honestly, so do good people. I often think about this when I'm turning. I think about the people I know, the new people I've met, the old friends that I've connected with or maybe haven't connected with in a while. I think of one of my oldest friends from school. I met him in middle school over a comic book, a single comic book. I walked into shop class one day and he was sitting there reading an X-Man comic book. Nothing fancy, nothing flashy, just a simple X-Men comic book. He had a little piece of paper next to him, and he was doodling one of the characters in the X-Men, a steel-clad fighter by the name of Colossus. And I saw that, and the first thing I asked him was, "Do you draw Spider-Man?" He looked at me and he said, "No." And I knew we were going to be friends. Not because he didn't like Spider-Man, but because I had a mission to convince him that Spider-Man was the greatest superhero ever. I think that friendship was something I needed. My friend and I, we stumbled into manhood together. We didn't know what we were doing. His mom was a single mother. My father was in the Navy and gone a lot. We didn't have a lot of guidance. And so we tried our best to do what we could together. And we learned things that we never would have learned otherwise. I think having good people around you is one of the most important things that you can have. But that friendship with him, it took time. It took time and patience for it to mature and grow into a kind of friendship that's lasted a lifetime. So maybe this episode is less about a bowl and more about permission. Permission for you to slow down. Permission for you to enjoy ordinary things again. Permission to create something badly at first, because everybody has to start somewhere. Maybe it's permission to rest without being guilty. Maybe you need to find joy in simple work and the permission to do that. Not every day has to be a dramatic moment in time. And not every day has to be world-changing for it to really matter. Some days are just meant to be lived and enjoyed. And maybe somebody watching this today needed that reminder. Maybe you've been carrying a lot lately. Maybe life's been loud. Maybe your mind hasn't rested in weeks. My friend, I hope somewhere in the middle of the sound of the tools and the wood shavings and this curly maple bowl being shaped vaguely like a wizard's pot, you find a little peace today. I really do. And I want to thank you for spending time with me. I know with all of the things that are competing for your time, even the 15 minutes of this podcast may seem like an eternity that you don't have time for. But I am grateful that you chose to spend your valuable time with me. And I want to encourage you, if I've said anything that may resonate with you, something that encourages you, something that you needed to hear, to like and subscribe to this channel. It matters. I feel like that some of our talks, while they may not be world-changing, they can be life-changing for some people who just want a little honest reflection. I would encourage you to drop a line in the comment section. I do my best to try to answer all of them as soon as I possibly can. Send a link to a friend that needs to hear this message. I think it's important that we keep this conversation flowing. I think it's important that we have good coffee, good fellowship, and an opportunity to express our ministry in good ways. Until next time, I want to encourage you to keep creating good things, keep walking in grace, and remember that grace builds what grit sustains. Until we see each other again,